What's up, everybody? Gojo here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about two different movies that came out kind of recently. I took a little bit to make this video, honestly, because it took me a while to watch Lilo and Stitch. But I'm going to be talking about How to Train Your Dragon mostly in this video because that's the movie that I enjoyed the most. But it's How to Train Your Dragon versus Lilo and Stitch, two live action movies, DreamWorks versus Disney. Honestly, I think that they both did a decent job just to get that. But honestly, some of the executions from like Disney's point of view weren't exactly the best decisions in my opinion. The removal of Gontu, the kind of removal of the I don't want to say transgender or like I don't know. I don't really know what it was supposed to represent, but he used to wear wigs, and I think that is kind of a slander of his character, taking that away from him. I saw the concept designs that they tried to add that in, but there was just a lot that they didn't do. And one of the biggest things, in my opinion, was not bringing back the original director for this film. He worked on this one before he made How to Train Your Dragon. I think this one came out in like 2003 or 2002. Not 100% sure. But when he made How to Train Your Dragon, he knew what he was doing because he had been in the industry so long. So for them not to even ask him, I think that was what he had said, that they didn't even ask him or like approach him to bring him back for the directors for Lilo and Stitch live action, but they brought him back for the How to Train Your Dragon. I think it shows a lot. Some of the biggest discourse online have been two things: that they changed a lot in Lilo and Stitch, and that people didn't like that, and that they didn't change anything in How to Train Your Dragon. I think that they did change a lot in How to Train Your Dragon, and that people just kind of overstepped that change that they made because of how much of the story needed to be the same for it to be a good story still. Even this moment here where Hiccup screams at his dad is a lot more passion filled. The movie entirely just has a completely different tone, with it being a more serious attempt at telling this same story without really changing anything but the aspect of how it's told, with it being told with humans. Whereas in the Lilo and Stitch side of things, they try to change a lot of the same things that they had in the original movie with a more modern aspect on it, which I think is a cool attempt. I enjoyed a lot of it. I enjoyed most of it, but a lot of the straight up cuts or different things that were removed kind of took away from the overall aspect of the movie. And one of the biggest things that I can remember, the reason Lilo was late for the practice in the beginning, the reason her parents died, she feeds a fish every day in the same time in the morning, a PB&J sandwich, in order for the fish to control the weather and make sure that the weather that was apparent on the day that her parents got in a car accident won't be apparent anymore, therefore keeping her family and her safe. This wasn't apparent in the movie, and it kind of is sad that it wasn't, because I think it's very important. And then another thing, Zach Galifianakis, Zach, however the fuck you say his last name, playing the main character, or not main character, playing Janimbo, I think was kind of a failure on the casting part, which is, you know what I mean, not the biggest thing, because in How to Train Your Dragon, some of the characters that were casted, in my opinion, weren't the best choice. Some of the main crew, I liked. I forget his name. The guy that Jonah Hill played. I don't remember his name. He gets the red dragon. But honestly, for the most part, Rough Nut and Tough Nut did not hit on in my opinion. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think some of these live action films are necessary because they're children that would have, for the most part, never seen the original, and this carries it over. But I don't want to keep dragging it on. At the end of the day, it is what it is. If you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you love it. Stay sturdy, my friends.